Hi. Warning, the following content is restricted or banned, maybe. No, it's not banned yet. Anyway, we're a group of individuals who are extremely opinionated, but we have the common sense and foresight to understand that our opinions aren't facts. We're just nearly certain they are. Uh, we'll figure it out.
What is up, guys? My name is Jordan. We are Far Side of the Pod. We got Ridge.
The fact that we aren't banned yet.
True. And we got Mikey.
Hey, the fact that we aren't banned yet means I can keep doing dumbass intros.
And on to the first segment of the day. We're at the end of the NFL season. Next Sunday, we have the Super Bowl. We got the Chiefs versus the Eagles.
Whoopee.
As a Chiefs fan, I've got to go with my boys. Ridge, I know you don't care, but who do you think's going to win?
Well, you see, that's the issue, Slater, is I didn't care enough about it to think about who was ever going to win.
Right.
Just, I guess I'm going to just have to pull for the NFC either way and just go with the Eagles.
I'm going with the Chiefs because of my team, but I also want them to win because I want them to get that three-peat and become the first team ever to have a three-peat. Mikey, who you going for, big dog?
Well, see, knowing what I know about certain things, which isn't a lot, but still something, is that, I told you, I believe it was last Super Bowl, something like that, Jordan?
Yeah.
That I'd be a Chiefs fan with you?
Yep.
And I am. I respect the craft, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Chiefs win, just because it would make sense in my mind for them to hit this legendary thing, be the first team ever to do this something specific, and then maybe they don't go to the next Super Bowl. I don't know. I've seen that happen a lot, and I guess I've just come to expect it due to Tom Brady's time.
Yeah.
True question. If they win,
Mm-hmm.
or even if they don't win. Okay, so let me rephrase it. What's the likelihood if they win or even if they don't win that Kelsey retires?
I think that if they win, there might be a 75% chance that he'll retire. But if they don't, I think it's more 50-50.
Right.
But that's like a safe call for me. Like I feel like that would make sense.
Also, what's the percentage that if he win or if they win, not just he, I guess. If they win, he ends up proposing.
I wouldn't be surprised. Imagine being the guy who just wins the Super Bowl for the third time in a row. Your team becomes the greatest team of all time when it comes to, consecutive Super Bowls, and you also in the same night get engaged to the biggest pop star, arguably of all time. Imagine being that dude. And
I don't want to.
and you're also known as arguably the greatest tight end of all time. I mean, imagine I couldn't imagine being his famous anyways. I wouldn't want to be his level of famous.
Permission to play devil's advocate.
I'll take the money, but
No. Permission to play devil's advocate in Caleb's absence.
okay.
Granted.
What if they lose and she leaves him?
That'd be fucked.
On one hand, I would not wish this on him. Let me make that very clear from the get-go. I do not, nor would I want this. However, I am twisted enough in my head that the irony is so potent that I would have to try not to laugh. A little.
So the internet would explode?
Yeah, the internet would explode.
Yeah, the internet would explode.
And he would be a different weight?
Taylor would easily just write an entire #1 selling album that off of it.
We'd get her first ever triple album, and it would be called My Tight End.
Shut! No way.
Slayer, go home.
I am home.
Go home. You're drunk.
For the unfortunate listeners at home, what you're about to hear has nothing to do with the podcast. I will, however, let you know it's me stomping into Jordan's office and beating him to death with a hammer.
Oh, Lord. That's awful.
The universe demands penance for the joke.
It has this... I'm not going to lie, that thing would probably stink a little.
I don't know. She's rich enough to take precautionaries, brother.
I don't care how rich you are.
Look, man, if they can, if they can turn a woman to a man and a man to a woman, they can fix that shit.
We've heard it told before. I know you like to think your shit don't stink, but lean a little bit closer and roses really smell like poo.
I know you like to think your don't
hey, calm down. We're going to get a copyright claim.
The cover.
Dude, yeah, for fans, I think it's crazy. But I streamed some Clone Hero last week just to kill some time, and I got a fucking copyright claim on every single one of the songs that I did in the game.
Well, we didn't think about it at the time, but yeah, I know that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. I didn't think about it. I guess next time I need to do it on Twitch. I'm sorry, YouTube.
Better wait until we get big enough to maybe have a Patreon and do it on there.
Yeah. But either way, like I said, Chiefs versus Eagles next week. For anybody out there, like I mentioned it last week, but the Super Bowl will be on Tubi. So if you don't have cable and anything, you're looking to watch it, download Tubi. No ad. Pay us, Tubi.
Or if, you're not interested like me, you can just hop on YouTube and watch all of your commercials and movie trailers there. So, and there you'll get the full trailers.
So, Ridge, we're on to Raw. You got the card, brother?
Yeah, I got the card. Sorry. So Raw opened up with War Raiders taking on Dominic Mysterio and JD McDonough.
Yep.
And
JD McDonough.
Oh my gosh. That was probably the biggest thing to come out of that match other than the War Raiders retaining their titles.
For anybody who don't know and you didn't watch Raw, JD McDonough did a spot where he backflipped out of the ring or on the ropes, and when he went out, he hit, I can't remember if it was Ivar or Eric, but when he hit the announcer table and his head like ricocheted onto the corner of the
God.
You would have thought he broke his neck.
Yeah. But all he ended up doing was
he's okay, right?
He broke a few ribs and punctured
a lung.
He'll be out for a little bit, but he's fine.
Okay.
But if you saw it, you would think that it would have been worse.
He got back up and still
finished the match,
wrestled, and took shots to the head too. That made it. I mean,
yeah.
The dude's a fucking trooper. I'll give him that. But that big head saved his life too, I think.
Yeah.
There, that big skull. I don't know what it is that saved him on that ship, but because afterwards too, there's a photo of him, or a photo and video of him walking to the back, and by the time he got behind like the screen slightly, he collapsed. So
Yeah.
it was definitely wild, to say the least. All right, after that, we had Ray versus Xavier Woods,
Okay.
and Rey Mysterio won again against the New Day.
Yep.
They still don't have a theme song, and they just don't seem like a big threat. That's the main takeaways I'm getting from this New Day.
Yeah.
After that, you had Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Naomi and Bianca Belair. Liv Morgan and Raquel won that match, which, I mean, it wasn't too much to boast her about.
Right.
After that, the other last match of the night was Sammy versus Drew, and Drew won that match as well.
Yeah.
And then after that, the main event was Cody Rhodes having a segment with CM Punk.
Yep.
I didn't think it should have been the main event, but
Right.
that's beyond me. Overall, it was pretty decent. Wouldn't say it was the greatest thing in the world. Wouldn't say it's the worst thing in the world. Also, Jey Uso came out, took about what seemed like 15 minutes to get down to the ring. He had Quavo with him,
Yep.
just yeeting. Spent about 15 minutes doing that. And then finally got into a promo of saying that he can beat Gunther. He can do it. He can. He just needs that little extra,
Right.
which we'll get into later. But
Which, speaking of later, is the Royal Rumble, which was last night. Which I can say the card, Rich, because I remember it off the top of my head. At first, we had the Women's Royal Rumble. We had some, great entrances. Of course, Jordan Gray showed up, and who else? A lot of more NXT.
Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, Alexa Bliss returned. A lot more of the NXT women showed up than I thought. I didn't expect Julia to show up. I thought maybe she would, but I was surprised, and I was super surprised by Roxanne Perez. I don't know if you know, but Roxanne Perez broke the record for the longest time in a women's Royal Rumble match.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
An hour, 7 minutes, and 47 seconds. Then
Nice.
Nia Jax broke the record for the most eliminations in the women's Royal Rumble match ever, with 9. She eliminated like 9 people in one move almost. But
Damn.
she now holds the record for the most eliminations ever by a female superstar with 29.
You need to fix that damn hair.
Yeah, that thing was out there.
Like, it looks like she woke up and threw her outfit on and ran down to the ring, is what it looked like. Because that hair was out there. Out there.
But at 27, Charlotte Flair returned, and she returned, and she looked like Charlotte. She looked like she hasn't missed a beat, in my opinion. Honestly, I was kind of grueling seeing her, but honestly, I was very impressed and was glad to see that she still, can perform just as good as she could before, and whether a lot of people, like it or agree with it or not, she's the greatest women's wrestler of all time. I mean, stat wise, I'm not going to say personal, whatever. We all know who my personal is, but stat wise, but she continues to prove every time she comes out there that no matter what she goes through, she still puts on a show, and ultimately she won the Royal Rumble. She is the first time ever 2-time Women's Royal Rumble winner. But, for me at least, I knew that Charlotte was going to win it. I just had a feeling for a while that she was going to win it, especially with her coming back and Tiffany Stratton winning the belt and her announcing that she's going to be on SmackDown. Looks like they're going to have Charlotte go after Tiffy. And so I guess they're doing like the Queen versus the Princess or whatever. But yeah, that was pretty much it for the Women's Royal Rumble. Like I said, we had a couple good, showing outs, and it was great to see Alexa Bliss and wearing that Fiend Forever jacket. It felt good seeing her again. She's personally one of my favorite female wrestlers ever, so it was great to see her back. On to the second match.
Death, taxes, and Charlotte Flair winning.
Yep.
Is guarantees in life, it seems like.
Hey, what do you expect when you're a Flair, I guess?
Comes with the territory, huh?
It comes with something, I guess.
But on to the second match. We had a 2 out of 3 falls match for the tag team championship. It was between the Motor City Machine Gun and DIY. The match was super good, in my personal opinion. At first, I wasn't all there for it. I mean, I love Motor City Machine Gun. I'm not the biggest on DIY, but I watched it when I thought I was really going to zone it out. But I mean, they were putting on some monster spots, doing some really cool moves, and taking some really gnarly bumps. But DIY ultimately won because Street Profits interfered and attacked both teams. I mean, at first they attacked Motor City to get DIY to win, but then after that they won. Street Profits attacked him, so I don't really know the point of the attack. I don't know if Street Profits are a heel now. I don't know if they're face now. I don't know what's going on, but that's what happened. What do you think about that match, Ridge?
It was a good match just in front of the wrong crowd.
Yeah, for real.
Definitely, though, at the same time, too, it gave off a main event of like a Monday or Friday night.
Yeah, I can give that. But I definitely think, it gave up. It held up to the card, though.
Right, and the reason why Street Profits attacked the way they did without being able to tell if they're heel or not is because they got the same thing handed out to them from DIY.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And screwed them over, so it was their turn to do the exact same thing.
Oh, all right. Makes sense now.
Just give me a big-ass match at WrestleMania with all the tag teams.
Yep. Like how they did for the Hardys a few years ago. And it was like a 5-way ladder match for the belts.
Mm-hmm. And also, hear me out, and I know that it's not, it's popular, but not super. Have Pretty Deadly in it, too, and have them win the titles.
I love Pretty Deadly. Pretty Deadly is so funny, dude. I love them.
They've been connected to this whole thing the whole time, just off to the side, so...
I know people, probably try to push me to the side because they got a goofy gimmick. But I love them. I think it's hilarious. Sometimes that little humor in the wrestling brings me joy. I mean, I think that, I do think their song's kind of a banger, though. But on to the next match, we had a ladder match for the WWE Undisputed Championship. Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. Let me tell you, this match got brutal fast. They beat the shit out of each other. Talk about a couple spots that I think are gnarly. Main two. There was a part where Kevin had the ladder open in the middle of the ring, and he brought another ladder and ran it through a rung and put the other end on the rope, making like a little table. And he was going to try to frog splash Cody through it, but Cody got up and caught him on the top rope, and Kevin reversed it and brain busted his ass on top of that ladder. And I'm talking about that looked painful. Kevin smacked the shit out of his head on the back of that ladder. But that was a mean move. Like, that hurt just watching it. Then that Alabama slam that Cody did to Kevin at the end of the match. Dude, for a second I thought he broke the shit out of Kevin's neck.
I thought his head was stuck in the ladder.
It was. It wasn't stuck, but it went in between the rungs.
Yeah, but it looked like he just stuck like that.
Yeah. But
I give it that, and the spot where the ladder was set up on its side, and Cody flipped Kevin Owens just perfectly right onto his back, and like only half of the ladder hit too.
It was like that pointy part of the ladder too hit his lower. Or that power bomb or whatever Kevin did to Cody when he had that ladder lodged in the corner of the ring sideways.
Yep,
that was gnarly too. But that was a really great match. It was brutal. Cody, to me, it almost felt like Cody was turning heel in the middle of the match because how brutal it got. Like, he was pissed off.
It was definitely him becoming unhinged.
Yeah, definitely. Especially the way after he did the Alabama slam through the ladder, how he just walked up, grabbed the belt, still celebrated, and just kept going. Then walked back, stood on the announcer table, and held the belts over him. But great match, great match. Then, of course, the final match of the night was the Men's Royal Rumble. I thought the match was fantastic. Started out with a dream match for a lot of people. Rey Mysterio came in at 1, and Penta came in at 2. Had a little lucha off. We had a few other people come in after that were lucha or high flying style, and we had a pretty good fast little bout. Speaking of Penta was the Iron Man of the Royal Rumble this year. He lasted 42 minutes and 5 seconds in his very first Royal Rumble.
Although there was a very large botch at the very beginning.
There was a large botch where both Penta's feet hit the ground, but they played it off as if he only one foot hit the ground. But
after that, they said if the camera is showing you anything, don't show him wherever he goes out.
Right. And it was also cool because Penta was wearing a Blue Beetle themed outfit, if you couldn't tell.
Oh, that's sweet, dude. That's rad.
So John Cena, I think he came in at 17, right? Or no, 20-something. I don't know, but
so hold on. You had at 15. You had Jacob. Well, first off, hold on. Let's back up.
Okay.
Let's back up to about what was it? 5 or 6 was where Braun Breaker came out.
Oh yeah, Braun Breaker was tearing that shit up.
I think he tossed out as soon as he got in Carmelo Hayes, if I'm not mistaken.
He took Carmelo out quick. Yeah, he did.
Yeah. And then at 8, I can't remember his fucking name. There's supposed to be somebody that came in.
Oh, Akira Tozawa was supposed to come in. But as Carmelo was walking out, he smacked Tozawa in the back, and they were like, Tozawa can't go in. And when they took him back behind the curtain, Speed was back there, and Triple H was like, Speed, you're going in. And he's like, what? And they forced him to go in there. And Speed gets in there, and he helps eliminate somebody.
He helps Braun Breaker eliminate Otis.
Yeah, and they cheer for a minute, and dude, Braun Breaker hits the fastest spear and the hardest whiplash spear I've ever seen in my life. I'm talking about speed.
Yeah, that was
hard.
About cut the man in fucking half for real. That was the closest I've ever seen to somebody actually looking like they got cut in half from him.
And what was funny is Logan Paul had WWE made specific I Showed Speed merch. So it looked like he was wearing a Yeet shirt, or the red No Yeet shirt. And instead of saying Yeet, it said Sweet! Like they cheer in hockey. Not hockey, but soccer.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
I'm
he
just
gets
imagining I Show Speed folding like a damn chair.
It was fast, too.
Holy shit. Oh, it's really funny.
not only that, but after he gets thrown out by Braun, Otis catches him
Yep.
and throws him through the announcer table.
Yep.
God.
It was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And apparently, right after that, he asked Pat McAfee and Michael Hayes, "Where am I?"
Michael
Where
Cole.
am I?
Michael
So
Cole.
that was
Michael Cole, not Michael Hayes.
Michael. Same difference. They're both Michaels.
Michael Hayes is the producer. but
And
you
then,
mentioned that 15 Fatu came out,
yep.
and he put on a tear. He put a great performance on for his debut as well. And crazy 17 was Roman.
I thought he was 16.
Well, it was 16 or 17, but that was pretty epic. Roman, of course, he's arguably the greatest of all time. So
Now, listen, you take Jacob and you throw him in the Rumble. You're bound to have millions of stare downs that are main event caliber out of nowhere.
Oh yeah.
You could have a grilled cheese in there with him, having a stare down with a grilled cheese, and people will tell you, "Take my fucking money. Let's see that match."
Jacob Fatu, man, he is special. I know it took a while for them to bring him into the WWE because of his past, but man, he has proven that they should have picked him up a long time ago. But it's great that they still picked him up, where he's young enough to be able to still do all the shit that he's able to do. Because man, he's killing it. But fun fact: Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu tied for the most eliminations in the men's Rumble. They both had 4. But we continue on, and a few spots later, we get Jey Uso comes in, gets the crowd live. At this point, Jimmy's in the ring with them and all that. Sammy is in the ring. We're having a good time here. But a couple picks later, John Cena comes out. Then literally the pick after John Cena is CM Punk. CM Punk, Cena, and Roman have a stare down in the ring. And then the time goes out, and it's Seth Rollins, and they have this big, massive 4-way stare down. And they go at it for a while. And
First off, hold on. Let's wind it down real quick. First off, because I love talking about this one. All right. So at some point we had Drew McIntyre in there too.
oh yeah.
We was getting to the meat and potatoes guys, and the guys that everyone. Go ahead.
No, I was just you said meat and potatoes, and I said the bangers and mash in a Scottish accent. Sorry.
Nope, you get. I mean, we was getting into the guys that you would have thought were going to win it.
Yeah.
And by the time you got John Cena in, I swear that it wasn't 2 minutes that was going by anymore. It was, okay, who's next? Let's get them out of there. I swear that's what was happening.
It was like every 30 seconds after that.
That's what it seemed like. It was. There's no way you can convince me that was 2 minutes that went by between their entrance and them getting in the ring, because it was Cena, then shortly after Punk, and then not long after it was Seth Rollins was in there, and you had Roman Reigns all in there, and the whole time too. The whole time too. Cena is acting like a little kid over in the corner. First off, he's doing this whole ordeal of, all right, who am I going after first? You know, he's staying ready, like he's ready to go after somebody. After, I think it was either after Punk was in there or after Seth came in. You look over, they show the camera on him, and he's over there jumping in the corner, shaking his arms like a little kid, super excited about being in that moment.
Yeah, he was, man. I saw that.
I was like, holy crap, he's like a little kid in a candy store right now.
Man, I'm not going to lie, when Cena came out, I wanted to cry, man, because, you know, he held up the towel that said the last time is now, and he said, one more time, let's do this Rumble one more time. And it was just surreal getting to see him, you know, have a great match. And, you know, he lasted all the way to the runner-up. John Cena tied for the second most runner-up finishes ever with 3. And the final, so they were down to the final 6, and it was Cena, Roman, Jey Uso, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Reigns. And Reigns and Seth were... Roman was about to get Seth out, and Logan Paul came out.
Did you say that? Okay, never mind.
And
I was about to say what?
And Logan came up behind them and threw... Well, Punk came up behind and threw Seth and Roman over. Then Logan threw Punk out. And then our final 3 was between Cena, Logan Paul, and Jey Uso. Of course, pretty much Jey and Cena pretty much took out Logan fairly quickly. But Cena and Logan did get to have their moment. They were having a pretty good spots. But they eventually got about in the final 2 was between Jey and Cena. They went on for a second. I thought they had a pretty good moment. And ultimately, they get on the apron of the ring, and they go at it for a second. It looks like John's about to hit the AA on the apron, and Jey falls back into the ring, hits and pushes John off the apron, becoming the first ever person to come in at number 20 and win the Royal Rumble, and Jey Uso wins his very first ever Royal Rumble. So now he is officially main event Jey Uso. So Jey Uso will now face Gunther at WrestleMania.
Hold on now. That's not 100% true.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
From who?
Jey Uso. He got interviewed last night, and he said that he was going after the World Heavyweight Championship. He said it last night.
Okay, doesn't that just undermine the Saturday night main event?
I mean, no, but I get what you mean though, because it's, you know, it was the same match we just saw. But
I was about to say, how does it not whenever he just lost that one? Right. Not only that, but also Jacob Fatu completely annihilated Braun Strowman, and out of nowhere, Braun Strowman came back.
Yeah, and then Braun Strowman just yeeted the fuck out of Jacob out of the ring.
So I mean, that was.
But
it seemed like it undermined.
I'm super excited to see Jey win the match, though. You know, he definitely, especially you can tell how over he was in the crowd behind him. You know, it's great to see him get his dues, and I'm excited to see what they do. And it does look like they're possibly setting up a triple threat match at Mania between Punk, Roman, and Seth. It looks like what they might be trying to insinuate, unless they do that at Elimination Chamber, but I doubt that. I almost expect all 3 of them to be in the Elimination Chamber match. I mean, and Cena has already announced at the press conference that he was going to be in it, so.
Well, we kind of knew that with the commercial that they showed earlier on.
Yeah.
They showed advertisement for it, and they showed Cena in the advertisement. So it's like, oh, you kind of figure out he's going to be in there.
But Cena was saying that he's going to absolutely do the utmost best to do what's best for business, and he believes that him main eventing WrestleMania is what's best for business. So, but yeah, that was Rumble. I personally would give it a 4 out of 5. Mainly because there was a couple spots where you could see where it wasn't really, coordinated that great, but they still played it off just as good. But that's only a small detail. The only thing that really took it down a notch for me was just because I knew Charlotte was going to win the Women's Rumble match. And, crazy, we didn't get, Jade Cargill back, which I thought we would, or Becky Lynch. I thought we was going to get Aleister Black back, but I guess it looks like we may have to be waiting until after Mania for that one. Unless he just ultimately decides to show up on Monday night tomorrow or something. But yeah, that was the Rumble. I give it 4 out of 5. Ridge, what do you give it?
I give it a 4.5 out of 5.
Okay, I give it.
I think the main thing that killed it was, like I said earlier, Death, Texas, and Charlotte Flair winning.
Yep.
You always thought she's going to more than likely win. And so it just kind of kills the mood. Luckily, the men's Rumble kind of was a redeeming point for it, because I honestly thought Cena was going to win it, and that was going to bump it down for me, because that's another obvious choice.
Right.
I don't like obvious whenever it comes to stuff like this.
Well, that's why I think them picking Jay to win was like genius, because nobody expected it, and 2, it's it's somebody that's not like it goes along with how people don't expect it. It gives somebody new a chance, and I love the idea that it's Jay. I definitely think he deserves it. If you go back and watch the Bloodline story, especially back when Jay and Roman first had their little thing, when Roman got crowned the head of the table officially by Sika and Alpha, Jay was definitely, leaning towards wanting to be that main event. Jay Uso era type person back then, but took time. But glad we got it now. Ridge, go ahead and start with the next segment, and you talking about the movie news. I need to run to the restroom real quick, but go ahead and keep going for you.
Well, dang, we might get this done while he's gone.
That's fine.
So just a little bit of movie news, and it's mostly Marvel news that we have in the movie world is, so Armor Wars, supposed to have come out as a TV series at one point, got changed into a movie. I got changed and transferred, mixed together there for a second. It was supposed to be coming out at some point, but it is for an X amount of time indefinitely on hold, has been put in the shelf due to the story of Secret Invasion. I don't know if you watched Secret Invasion, Mikey. If you did, I'm sorry. It wasn't that great. And
something.
Yeah. So what they did with Rhodey and that kind of put a bad spot in the Armor Wars story.
Right.
So, yeah, that's on hold now for an indefinite amount of time. Whether or not we'll get it, who knows? But, yeah. So, after that, the Fantastic Four, they are on their way again. I'm looking forward to them. Yep. I'm looking forward to them. I know Slater's looking forward to him. Mikey, you looking forward to him?
I am.
Great. The trailer for him is supposedly coming out on Tuesday, February the 4th. Because, you know, it's Feb 4, F4, Fantastic Four. And they're going to be showing it first on Good Morning America, I believe. That's what they said. So, it's not going to be at the Super Bowl. Kind of surprising.
Yeah.
Not really. Well, kind of and not really, because they also have 2 other Marvel movies that they'll have to choose from, with Brave New World and Thunderbolts, that will be coming before Fantastic Four. But, you know. Alright. And then after that, the other... Well, let's see here. I got 2 other things. One of them is apparently it's rumor milled that the Russos are going to stay with the MCU after Secret Wars is over and take on the X-Men and the start of the new saga. Any thoughts or anything on that?
I mean, I love that idea. I mean, they've been, they directed the best movies in the MCU so far. So I think, bringing them on to X-Men, which I expect them to show the same amount of love as they do every movie that they do in the MCU. And I personally think they're the most trusted people to, especially do a big level movie. So I think it's a genius idea.
Mikey?
I think it'd be a great prospect. I'd like to see some good content come out of X-Men, and I think both of these guys have a great chance of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
If their work speaks for them, and I think it does, I've got high hopes.
Right. I would love to see it too. My only worry is that I know that they have another studio themselves that they're trying to run.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know if they're still on board with this Gray Man universe that they had going on. I don't know how that's looking, but I know it can't be easy trying to run your own production studio and also be working on the main projects for a major studio in Marvel.
Yeah.
With that also being said, of them being the new or the ones to take on the X-Men, there is apparently a casting call has gone out also for a new Gambit.
Really?
Yep, they're looking for somebody that's younger.
I had a feeling that they would probably go. Well, the reason why I think that they're going younger, or why I knew. So first of all, I saw a thing that there apparently was looking at the guy who played Dick Grayson in the Titan series to play Cyclops. I can't remember his name.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Brendan something, but is he like? I think he would definitely fit the role. But the last thing I saw, that they were really looking at Jack Champion playing Cyclops. And if you don't know who Jack Champion is, Jack Champion played as Spider in the last, in the newest Avatar movie. Then he also played Ethan. Spoiler alert, he played Ethan Landry in Scream 6, who turned out to be one of the ghost faces at the end of the movie. It looks like they definitely are going for a younger X-Men team, at least for now. Like maybe, I don't know if they'll do a jump or not, but it looks like they're trying to set them up as a younger team. So I'm guessing just so over time we can watch their progression and they can age with the roles like everybody else has, pretty much.
Yeah.
Right.
I think those are perfect ideas for him. For him, I want Glenn Powell, but if they're going younger, I definitely get it. which is also if they're going more of the guy from Titans route. I heard that they were looking at Elizabeth Gillies to play Rogue, which honestly might be one of the best options for a Rogue ever. If you don't know who Elizabeth Gillies is, she was Jade off of Victorious. That's all I really know her from. She's hot. She definitely can pull off the Rogue look. So she got my vote if they take her. I just really hope whoever they get to play Rogue actually does the Southern accent. That's my thing. You better have that Southern accent.
Well, I mean, that's kind of like
Gambit.
Gambit. What I was going to go before was talking about Doom.
True. Yeah.
You kind of hope that they have somebody that's going to actually use an accent with Doom, and you just hope that RDJ actually uses an accent.
Right.
Now you go back and look at all of the Dooms before. A couple of them had accents, and over half of them that did have accents, though, just sounded like those from like the UK.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see. Speaking of movie news, Slater, I know you got something that you want to talk about.
Yeah, on to our next and last final big segment of the episode. So we got some super de-duper major news for Scream 7. Scream 7 is, first of all, it's scheduled to come out in February of next year. Nev Campbell is officially coming back as Cindy Prescott. Courtney Cox is confirmed to be coming back as Gail Weathers. We're getting like Sydney's daughters, and we got some McKenna Grace, who's a great actress, playing her. But the big news coming out over the last couple of days, first of all, Roman Bridger, the brother of Cindy Prescott, his actor Scott, I can't remember his last name, but he just officially got confirmed to be in Scream 7, which is crazy because I want to know how the hell they're going to bring back somebody who literally got shot in the head. But the big news of the year so far is Mathew Lillard is confirmed to be returning as Stu Macher in Scream 7. Don't know how they're going to do it. I have some ideas, but this is the biggest Scream news anybody could hear. If you don't know, they were originally planning on bringing Stu Macher back in the third Scream, but due to Columbine, they changed it. I'm starting to pick out some things that I think will make sense on what's happening, and I guess I can go ahead and give my take on what I think they should do with this movie. What I think is going to happen is somehow whenever Stu got the TV thrown on his head, he was found to survive, and instead of getting arrested, his parents, who have to be super fucking rich. I mean, they got a fucking country house in the middle of nowhere in California. I've always thought that the sheriff in the original movie was pretty shady, so my guess was either with the sheriff or somebody, they made it to seem that Stu had died, but he really didn't, and my guess is they moved across the country or whatever, changed their name. Stu probably went into a mental hospital for a while, got good, or what they thought he got good, or got to a point where they thought he was fine. He eventually comes back out. He wants his revenge. And I think they're going to connect him. They're probably going to use Reddit mainly because when you think back to Scream 5, Amber and Richie met through a stab subreddit, and that's how they got connected and talked about wanting to rehash the murders to create a new movie. But I think it's going to come to the point that Stu had been pulling the strings the whole time, and that he is now the leader, or he is leading a Ghostface-like cult. I mean, I've been thinking that it was going to be like a Ghostface-like cult since before Scream 5, I think it just makes sense. Especially the last two movies. The one before they talked about there being a Reddit for Stab, and there was like a group of people that felt the same exact way that Richie and Amber did. Plus, in Scream 6, there was people on Tumblr saying stupid shit, like saying that Sam was really the one, that did the murders or whatever, all that jazz. And yeah, it was mainly Quinn who set that up. I think they could use those two innuendos to bring it into the point that they're leading a cult. And if they bring back Roman alive somehow, like if Roman is actually alive, it's going to be like him and Stu's running this cult together, because in the storyline wise, Roman technically is the one who got Stu and Billy to even go through with the murders in the first place. But let's be real, they're going to make Stu the leader no matter what, the number one. Stu is the most fucked up in the head Ghostface, I think, out of all of them, because if you look back in the original, he literally says he's just doing it for fun. When Billy had a reason to do it, Stu just did it just to do it. And it clearly shows his mental mood swings or whatever. But I think, depending on how they do it, I think it'll be fantastic. I hope the fans will love it. Especially, we need something crazy after the whole Melissa Barrera thing that went down. Her getting fired over the Palestine genocide post. But I was speaking to Mikey and what I think they're going to end up doing. So since Scream 7 is also bringing back Jasmine Savoy Brown, who plays Mindy, and Mason Gooding, who plays Chad, Randy Meeks' niece and nephew, I think somehow, some way, Jenna Ortega is going to come back for Scream 8. And somehow, some way, at the end of either 8, it'll be a cliffhanger, or it'll be the big reveal at the end of 9 that Sam, Melissa Barrera's character, is a member of this cult or a co-leader of this cult or something like that. Like, it's going to explain that Stu somehow made that little snap in her brain go off finally, which it showed in 6 that she was very close to getting to that point. But Stu, it could be mentioned as the only person that was really able to bring that darkness fully out of her and set up a whole final fight between, Sydney and probably the remaining of the core 4, which would be Chad and Mindy, or just Mindy and whatever, or one of them, versus the 3 dead Ghostface. Which also brings me to, I think I've heard some rumors that there's a possibility that Emma Roberts could be returning too. So, we could get another dead Ghostface coming back somehow. I also heard there's a rumor that it could be like a dream sequence between like the whole Roman thing, because them being family. But yeah, that's what I think they should do. I think it would be a great twist on people, and it would help bring the fans back together. Especially these people who says they've been true fans of the franchise since the beginning, when all they've really watched is the 5th and the 6th one. Then you got people like me who's been around since the beginning, and I just want to see it succeed no matter what. But that's what I think they should do with the franchise, or what I think they will do. I know I've talked about it for a minute, but Ridge, you go ahead and do your turn, buddy.
Well, what do you want me to?
I know it's kind of hard to come back how I said it, but I'm probably the best person to give you that explanation. But I just wanted to, at least try to be, have a little courtesy and let y'all put on.
So, my only thought is, well, hell, Mikey, take over. I don't know.
Well, the problem is I can't say anything that Jordan hasn't already said, with the exception being that the only other way I see Stu somehow coming back is that the TV didn't kill him, and while Cindy and Gail were handling Billy, he managed to make his escape, assuming the TV either didn't knock him out or he had enough adrenaline and strength left in his body to pull himself awake and up and out.
Yeah.
So I'll give it this. you seen the video of him writing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Is that how he normally writes, or you think that
No,
was just how he's writing as the character,
that's definitely
and
not how
he's
he.
actually like not 100%, you know?
Right,
So maybe,
he's definitely does it right like that. Me and Mikey would
well,
agree.
maybe his character ain't
Yeah.
fully
Well, that's what.
alive neither, though, and he's more so brain dead.
Well, that's what I was meaning. Like, he was in an insane asylum, and when they thought he was good, like he's good enough, like he's psychotic enough to hide it enough to the point where they think he's good enough to go out when he's not. Like I said, change his name to where it's not Stu Macher until it reveals that it is Stu Macher.
Well, that and my only other thought is just seeing a scene kind of like what we had talked about before with the little fanfare idea that we had
Yeah,
of at the end of it all, it was going to be the person was going to be struggling in a fight or something, or be close to getting killed or something, and say, "Don't you realize you can never kill us? We're just going to keep on coming back because it's not just
yeah,
me.
right.
It's not
Yeah,
just you know saying it's a whole brand, and everybody. There are so many people that look to this and love this that they're going to keep on, and you're not going to be able to stop it."
and that would be a perfect line, especially for Scream 7. I mean, we've already confirmed that we're going to have more than two killers in that movie in the first place, so I think it's going to be phenomenal. I'm excited for it. I know a lot of people, especially the dumb fake fans, who are trying to quote unquote boycott it when they're not going to do shit because of the whole Melissa Barrera thing. But I'm excited to
I'm
see what
not
they
that
do.
interested in it.
I mean, you know how I am. Screams
Sorry.
my
Yeah, I know. It's just, I don't know. It's just,
Now I do think the last movie, I do think Scream 6 would have been a really good moment to finish the franchise. Really, especially this storyline. Like if they wanted to conclude this like this current storyline there, then somehow reboot it or remake it where it's completely different characters and everything. And there's no connection to the original. I would be cool with that.
don't
But
get me wrong. They could have told a seventh movie,
oh yeah,
and they could have still used Matthew Lillard and a bunch of different people, but now it just seems like, okay, y'all had this fuck up,
right.
and because of that, we're going to throw everything that we can and see what sticks.
Yeah, I can understand that, especially with them pulling out, saying that Roman was going to be in it, and officially getting Matthew Lillard back, which what they've been trying to get Matthew Lillard to come back for a while now, but
And
them
then on top of that,
them deciding to do it now is a little weird.
well, I mean, I kind of seen a way for them to have included him in the seventh one either way,
Right.
but he, just throwing everybody back in and saying, "All right, here's what we're going to try to do now."
Yeah.
Is throw all these names that you already know and love, so that way we can make sure that we get you in.
Right.
That's that's the thing that's given me an issue, even more so than just saying, "All right, well, we're done with this part of the Scream movies. Let's dive into something new and restarting again."
Yeah.
Instead, we're picking up with a couple of crumpled up pieces that we have, and then trying to throw in a shit ton of older shit so that way we can try to keep the fans around and try to make everyone happy.
And I do think it's crazy. I mean, I know it was never confirmed that Patrick Dempsey was coming back as Mark Kincaid in the first place. But the fact that, in Scream 5, whenever you hear Sydney say her husband's name, Mark, everybody assumed it was Mark Kincaid from Scream 3. But now they officially casted Joel McHale as Mark Price, or Mark Evans, and that is officially Sydney's husband. So that's a little weird. That's the only thing that I'm like a little weird, like I'm not the fully on board about. Now he is funny. I love Joel McHale, but you know I got to see what they're gonna do with that and how they're gonna explain it. But I think if they make the story somewhat good and make the kills and the action fantastic, it'll at least be successful. But for a major Scream fan that I am, I want the story. I want everything to go off on. I want everything to hit. So I hope I'm praying it'll be good. And I know I have a feeling that'll be good, especially that Kevin Williamson, the guy who created the franchise, is the one that's directing the movie. I definitely have a good inkling that it'll be a fantastic movie, but we'll have to wait till February next year to figure it out. So hopefully we'll get a trailer at least by Halloween time. I would guess, but we'll have to see. Anybody got anything else to say on the Scream?
I do.
Go ahead.
So, this is going to be me traveling back and hitting topics because I suck at interjecting during conversations.
You're good.
So Stu's handwriting, the TV did fall on his head. Now I'm not saying they may not go the nerve damage route because I do believe it electrocuted him, right, Jordan?
Yes.
Now they could go the nerve damage route, but at the same time, that's blunt force trauma on top of blood loss on top of execution. There's definitely, other than the sociopathy, there's like probably physically things wrong with him, suggesting the fucked up handwriting, like how shaky and odd it is and how it's nearly illegible, but you're able to make out my mom and dad are going to kill me.
Yeah.
Right.
It was
So
also
I wouldn't
the way he was holding the pencil.
Yeah, so there is that. There is something to be said for that. Stu is likely not
All there.
fully physically capable.
He was all there. It wasn't all there in the first one, but he really ain't all there now.
He lost some gray matter.
Mm-hmm.
But moving forward, I had a thought while you and Ridge were talking, Jordan. What if throughout just all the Scream movies, right?
Yeah.
Ever since like maybe the third one going forward or the second one going forward, all right? We've been psyoped the whole time. We've been inceptioned. They've been punking us.
You think Stu's
Hear me out.
behind it the whole time?
No. Hear me out.
Okay.
Screams like this is me just like with my own ideas, by the way. So don't take this overly serious. This isn't a real conspiracy. I don't know if I genuinely believe this. It was just a thought I had, and honestly, I would were I to see it happen, I would have been like, "Oh, you son of a bitch! That was smart. How dare you?" Scream 7 comes to a close. How it comes to the close, the movie is what it was. Mid credits or after credits, you're looking at a TV screen in a family home, and it pans out right. And you got two core characters looking at each other, and the screen just says stab. But the T in stab looks like a 7.
Yeah.
They look at each other and they go, "You think they're ever going to stop making these damn things? It's always cheesy. What's the point anymore?" And like the camera pans, the camera keeps panning. Maybe you don't even see their faces. Maybe they're not even essential, but as the camera keeps panning, it goes outside, and the pantomime is that all of the Scream movies we've watched are just stab movies that are like Inception ass movies.
And Mikey, I don't want to. Your idea is fantastic, but I'm gonna tell you something. They've already done that.
Okay.
And yeah, I know you haven't watched Scream.
I'm just to the party late. I showed up and everybody's gone.
I know.
Time to disassociate.
I know you haven't watched Scream 4, but the whole opening scene for Scream 4 was like they watch one scene where these two girls die, then it turns out it's just Anna Paquin and chick from Pitch Perfect watching a stab movie. Then one of them kills the other one, and it turns out to be two other characters watching another stab movie. It was like a special scene within another special scene, whatever. And also they in Scream 5 they were talking about Stab 8.
No, fair enough.
Yeah. You had fantastic idea. You were right on top of it, but they already done it.
Showed up to the party late. Everybody gone.
Yeah.
Damn. But I do think it would, like, had it not been done before. It's definitely an interesting thing. Unfortunately, it has been done before, which is really cool. But at the same time, I definitely see that just being something. Of course, it is. Like, they pan out, but like my thought was like
super meta stuff, like Scream's known for.
Yeah, like just some super meta shit. Like the Ghostface killers never actually killed anybody. Everybody was on set the entire time.
Well, the first 3 stab
type
movies
shit. You know what I mean?
The first 3 stab movies are made after Sidney Prescott as well.
Right, I understand that, but I mean, like, we as the audience, like, it's like we're getting punked. Like, these people didn't actually die in the movie. We are, like, I don't know. It's damn it.
This whole time it's just been other people watching a movie.
Yeah.
We are watching other people watch a movie about a movie being made on murders, and the murders keep happening. Like, that level of Inception.
Right.
So what you're saying is kind of like what Pixar tried with Lightyear, on how Lightyear was a movie that happened inside of Toy Story.
Pretty much.
Well, I feel like I'm stepping on your toes here, Mikey. I'm so sorry.
No. Dude, you're not. You're just
He's here
correcting
to
me.
shit on your parade.
This is education.
So, Stab 3, up to Stab 3 was all about Sidney Prescott. I believe they did a couple more. And what I mean by that is Stab 1 is Scream 1, Stab 2 is Scream 2, Stab 3 is Scream 3. That's literally how they did it. Then they started doing weird shit. They even talked about one of them did time travel and all that dumb shit. Like, they talk shit about these movies and how they are getting out of hand and everything. But like,
I got a brilliant idea.
But what you're saying, Mikey, is about how them doing a movie inside of a movie. That's the whole point of Stab. Stab is the movie inside of the movie.
Yeah, but what if we're watching a movie inside of a movie inside of a movie?
That'd be fucking too weird.
I got a brilliant idea.
What's that?
Let's take them to space.
Hell no, we don't need that shit.
A movie? All right, hear me out. A movie inside of a movie inside of a movie inside of a Netflix series. I'm kidding. I'm going to the only place capitalism hasn't conquered. Space.
and it's Tom Cruise watching it the whole time.
I'd be so mad.
He just looks at the camera. This movie sucks, and the screen cuts to black.
The fuck did I just watch?
After all that time.
Don't watch that shit high.
So, anything else on Scream, everybody?
No, I don't got anything.
All right, so before we head off, guys, I want to give a massive, massive thank you to Horror Hound Weekend in Cincinnati, Ohio. We officially got press passes for it, and we're going to take a good old 5-hour long road trip up to Cincinnati and come up there for the weekend. It's only going to be a couple of us, of course, but we're super, super, super thankful and super excited for the opportunity to come and show love to your convention and make content there, of course, and meet the Terrifier 3 cast and Spencer Charnas and all them. So, we're looking for a fantastic time, and we're looking to hopefully make some connections and meet some new people and meet some of y'all. Hopefully, maybe y'all will listen back whenever we do meet you guys there, and hopefully y'all will get some comments eventually. Be like, hey, I was there. But yeah, we're looking at Sharon'sville Convention Center in Cincinnati, Ohio, March 21st through the 23rd. And we'll see you guys there for sure. But if nobody, does anybody have anything else for the episode?
No.
Well, like we always say, we love and appreciate you all. Hit the subscribe button, notification bell, share us out, spread some love on all our social medias. However you want to do it, you do it. We appreciate anything that you guys do for us. Next week we'll have a little.
We won't have a normal video.
We won't have a normal video. We'll have something out for you guys. It is
or normal podcast. Let's put it that way.
It
is it ever normal though? No.
But it's Super Bowl weekend, and of course, I watch Super Bowl in my house. So we're gonna post something. It may not be a podcast episode, but we will have something for you guys, just so you're not going a week without anything. But yeah, like I said, hit the like, subscribe, notification bell, do whatever. We'll see you guys on the next podcast. Peace out, guys.
Bye.